Where's Uncle Frank? There he is. Folks! Can I get everybody's attention, please? Thank y'all. First of all, I want to welcome everybody today to the 105th Hart Family Reunion. 105 years. We've got some special guests with us here today that I want to mention before we get started. First of all, Jim Ball from Smoky Barn News is here. He is doing just a brief documentary on the family and how it relates to the cabin down at Travis Price Park in Springfield. For those of you that haven't seen it, you might try to figure out where it is from somebody and go by and take a quick gander at it. It's really nice and preserved. Also, we've got Larry and Lisa Cox, Elena, his son and daughter-in-law are here. If they're not here, they're coming. We've also, they are? Right here. All right. And we've got Ray and Carol and Lisa and Larry. That's what I got it right there.
They'll be here in a few minutes.
Okay, all right. And also we've got Laurie Murphy. Where's Laurie? Right there. She is from the Robertson County Fair Board, and we were so afraid it was going to rain up here today that we had to come up with an alternate plan. And she is from the Fair Board and had made arrangements for us to use their pavilion down there, not only today, but anytime in the future we need it. We can always go down there, so we invited her up. Thank you very much for that. We've had a few deaths in the family this past year, and I want to take my time and go over them that way I don't get anything wrong. I've got several notes here. First of all, I've got Dewey Powers. He was Fanny Hart Wilkerson's son-in-law, and he was Claudine Wilkerson's husband. He passed away this past year. We've also got George Gossett. And I've got some information on Mr. Gossett right here. Yeah, we got it right here. Yes, right here. He died suddenly on April the 23rd. He was 45 years old. It was Bernice Morris Gossett's son and Miss Cora Morris Hart's grandson. We've also got Miss Mariola Taylor Allen. It was May Hart Taylor's daughter. Passed away this past year. Sam Vaughn. He died January the 9th in Kilgore, Texas. And also Mr. Robert Hart. Now Mr. Hart lives down in Texas. He's the one that wrote the family history book. Large contributor to the graveyard. His daughter passed away this past year, and I would like to read the obituary as it appeared in the Houston Chronicle. Carol Ann Kelly, age 50, passed away at her home on April 22nd, 2013. Carol was born to Robert and Charlene Hart in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma on October the 9th, 1962. She was a graduate of Texas A&M University. Carol married Scott Kelly in August of 1987. They have two sons, Robert and Matthew. Carol was preceded in her death by her mother, Charlene Hart. She is survived by her husband and two sons, her parents, Robert and Ann Hart, her sisters and brother-in-law, Jamie and Frank Bailey, Laurie and Jack. And then it goes on to mention the arrangements as it were down there. But I definitely wanted to mention that for Robert. He's unable to be here today. The way I understand, he's not traveling anymore, and I definitely wanted to make that well known. Also, the youngest person that I've been able to find here today, and I think she held this title last year, is Emma Hart, and she's 16 months old. Right there. Yeah, right there. I think that's the only time that's been back-to-back winner right there. I've noticed that we've got several people travel from other places. As always, the group from Indiana is here. Where's my Indiana group? All right, right here. We've got, of course, the group from Texas. And is the Mississippi bunch here?
No.
They're not here this year.
Got a grandson getting married Saturday.
Well, that's congratulations. Yeah.
mother, 95 years old in May, is here with us today.
Yeah, what was her name?
Shelbyville. She's O-L-A, Ola.
Ola McCormick. And she's 95, and she's here with us today.
She's right down here.
Well, glad you are here. Thank you for coming. She's from Shelbyville?
Yeah, Shelbyville.
Shelbyville, all right. 95. One of my favorite categories that I like to go over is the few that do so much for so many. Miss Norma Jean and Morton Pinnick, Larry and Wayne Moore, Donnie Hart, John and Mary Nicholson, Ollie Ruth and Billy Head. Of course, they bring the water for us. We appreciate that. And my Uncle Frank, standing right here. Elena Cox, and he don't like to be mentioned, but my father, Joe Hart, over here, he does a lot of work up here. And I mention him because I can. But he does a lot of work up here. And we appreciate that. The barbecue, as always, is from Baldwin's Barbecue here in Springfield. The chairs are courtesy of Robertson County Funeral Home. Mr. C.W. Dean and family provide that every year. And that's an interesting phone call. I call up and say, hey, the reunion's Sunday. They say, okay, we'll bring a chair. And that's about how that conversation goes. And also the Porta facility is from Reeves down in Ashland City, Tennessee. We appreciate them. And everybody's glad that's here, I'm sure. Finally, I've got one other thing I want to mention. This is my Uncle Frank's 87th reunion. He's never missed a reunion. And with that, I'm going to ask Mr. Uncle Frank here to return thanks.
Let us pray. God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for all the many blessings that you bestowed upon us. Lord, thank you for your love for us. And we are proud of this family. Never seen any alcohol out here or any bad language. Lord, we thank you for that. And Lord, for the ones that are not here, for whatever reason, we would ask that you watch over them. And let's take a minute to remember the ones that have gone on. And Lord, thanks to you for the ladies that have prepared the food. And Lord, just lead us to work for you. One day we might be in eternity in heaven. Lord, now we ask that you watch over us, keep us, forgive us where we fail you in so many, many ways. For in Jesus' name I ask.
And before everybody gets too far away, we've got a request.
Ollie Ruth.
Ollie Ruth?
Hart.
Yes. Yeah, they brought, I've got you.
I just wanted to say, I am Ollie Ruth. My grandmother, Ollie Anderson Hart, buried up here.
James Frank
She was buried 1933, April 28th, exactly a year before I was born.
Wow.
I've been to all of these reunions except one. We were in military. And I would just like to say, this is 105th reunion. And people talk about going to things all the time like this. Nobody can surpass us to be consecutive meetings. And I would encourage all of you to instill in your children and their children the respect and the honor for the older people that have gone on. Most of you know the history of this graveyard, and I'm proud to be a Hart. I always say I'm Hart head. And I just think that if you all will continue, let your children, bring them up in tradition, that you won't be sorry. That's all. I just want to say that.
Well, thank you. Good job. Thank you. Also, before we get broke up too far, I've got a picture request. Beverly would like everyone to kind of gather right in here in the sunny spot, facing this way.
Little ones up front.
And all the little ones up front and the big ones in the back.